Commander Vrel sat in the war chamber, all four of his eyes twitching as he watched the holographic display flicker and die. Again. For the third time this cycle, human vessels had appeared, struck with brutal efficiency, and vanished before his fleet could even lock targeting systems. "Explain this to me," Vrel said, his voice dripping with the kind of calm that preceded executions. "Explain how a species that only achieved faster-than-light travel 200 rotations ago is currently making the Carven Dominion look like incompetent hatchlings." His second-in-command, a nervous creature named Pix, shuffled his clawed feet. "Sir, the tactical data suggests." "Suggests?" Vrel laughed, though the sound came out more like grinding metal. "The data doesn't suggest anything, Pix. The data screams at us. It screams that we are being humiliated by mammals who measure distance in feet and eat processed cheese from tubes." The hologram sparked back to life, showing 3 Dominion cruisers reduced to floating debris. Beautiful ships, each one capable of glassing a planet. Now they were just expensive scrap metal drifting through the void, courtesy of humanity's newest pastime, making the galaxy's oldest empire look ridiculous. "They hit Outpost Gamma 9, Pix said quietly, pulling up another display. "Took out our supply depot, our communication hub, and, sir, they left a message." Vrel's mandibles clicked together. "Show me." The screen shifted to reveal words burned into the side of a storage facility, visible from orbit. The message was simple, written in perfect Carvonic script: "Thanks for the snacks. We'll be back." Several officers in the chamber made choking sounds. One actually laughed before catching himself. "Find that officer's name," Vrel muttered. "Reduce his pay." But even Vrel had to admit, grudgingly, that there was something almost admirable about the sheer audacity. Almost. The problem was that audacity didn't win wars. Strategy did. Planning did. Superior firepower did. And yet, somehow, the humans were winning with none of those advantages. "How are they doing this?" Vrel demanded, slamming one appendage on the console. "We have cloaking technology they haven't even theorized yet. We have weapons that can turn stars into black holes. We have an empire that spans 600 systems." 700, sir, Pix corrected softly. 699 now, another officer interjected. "The humans took System 42 last week." Vrel's eyes narrowed. That system had a garrison of 10,000 soldiers. Had being the operative word, sir. The commander pulled up the combat footage, watching as human fighters swarmed through the system like angry insects. Their ships were ugly, boxy things held together with what appeared to be stubbornness and bad welding. They shouldn't have worked. They definitely shouldn't have won. But they did. "Pause there," Vrel commanded, pointing at a frozen frame showing a human pilot ejecting from a damaged fighter. The pilot's vessel was on fire, spinning out of control, and yet the crazy mammal had apparently decided the best course of action was to shoot backward through space with a jetpack, firing a handheld weapon at a Dominion destroyer. "That shot took out their shield generator," Pix noted, almost admiringly. The pilot's name was Lieutenant Marcus Webb. He survived, somehow. Humans are calling him a hero. Humans would call a domesticated animal a hero if it barked at the right moment, Vrel snapped. But he kept watching the footage, studying every detail. The truth was becoming impossible to ignore. The humans weren't winning because they were better equipped. They were winning because they were absolutely, certifiably insane. They took risks that no rational species would consider. They improvised tactics on the fly. They turned every disadvantage into some bizarre advantage through sheer willpower and what they called spite. A communication alert chimed. Vrel accepted it, and the face of High Admiral Thex appeared, looking about as pleased as a predator who'd just lost dinner to a smaller scavenger. "Commander Vrel," Thex said coldly, "I trust you have good news about the human incursion?" "Define good, sir." Thex's scales rippled, a sign of deep irritation. "I define it as you telling me that these primitives have been eliminated and our borders are secure. Then I have bad news, sir." The silence that followed could have frozen stars. "Commander," Thex said slowly, "you have the finest fleet in the Dominion at your disposal. You have technology these humans can barely comprehend. You have warriors bred for combat across 1,000 generations. And you're telling me you cannot handle one species that still argues about whether their planet is getting warmer? Sir, with respect, these humans don't fight like anything we've encountered. They don't follow standard tactical doctrine. They don't retreat when they should. They seemingly don't care about survival odds. Then make the odds worse, Thex growled. I want. The transmission cut out. Every screen in the war chamber went dark. Emergency lighting kicked in, bathing everything in a red glow. Pix's voice was barely a whisper. Sir, we're being boarded. Vrel felt something he hadn't experienced in decades, fear. Not the tactical concern of facing a worthy opponent. Pure, primal fear. Because somewhere in the corridors of his flagship, humans were already inside. The alarms screamed like wounded animals, which Vrel thought was appropriate given what was about to happen to his crew. He grabbed his plasma rifle, checked the charge, and tried to remember the last time he'd actually fired a weapon instead of just ordering others to do it. How many? He barked at Pix, who was frantically pulling up internal sensor data. Sensors say, 12, sir. Just 12 humans. Vrel laughed, the sound echoing off the metal walls. 12. They sent 12 mammals to board a ship with a crew of 4,000. He paused. Wait. Why am I not relieved by this information? Because, sir, Pix said, his voice shaking as he watched the sensor data, they've already taken engineering. And the armory. And, oh no. They're in the mess hall. The mess hall. What are they going to do? Critique our food? An explosion rocked the ship. Then another. The lights flickered, and somewhere distant, Vrel heard weapons fire mixed with what sounded suspiciously like human laughter. They're using our own munitions against us, an officer reported, his voice climbing several octaves. They raided the armory and now they're just throwing grenades randomly while singing something called We Will Rock You. Vrel pulled up the security footage and immediately wished he hadn't. The humans were moving through his ship like a natural disaster with opposable thumbs. They weren't following any formation he recognized. One moment they'd be advancing in a coordinated assault, the next they'd split up for no apparent reason, each one causing maximum chaos in different sections. That one just slid down a ventilation shaft, Pix observed, pointing at a screen. On purpose. While firing 2 weapons. Which one? The female. Captain Rita Valdez, according to her suit designation. She's their leader. Vrel watched as Captain Valdez landed in a corridor, rolled to her feet, and immediately shot out 3 ceiling panels, causing them to crash down on a squad of his soldiers. Then she had the audacity to salute the security camera before moving on. I want hull integrity reports, Vrel demanded. Are they trying to destroy the ship? No, sir, another officer replied, confusion evident in his tone. They're being careful to avoid critical systems. It's almost like they want to capture the vessel intact. The realization hit Vrel like a meteor strike. They're not here to destroy us. They're here to steal my ship. That's insane, sir. They can't possibly fly a Dominion command cruiser. The interface alone requires 6 years of training. Another explosion. More alarms. The security feed showed a human male, someone named Jackson Torres according to his armor tags, literally riding one of Vrel's security drones through the corridor while his companions cheered him on. When the drone crashed, Torres simply jumped off, gave it a pat like some sort of pet, and continued fighting. I'm starting to think insane is their primary qualification for military service, Vrel muttered. His communicator crackled. A human voice came through, speaking surprisingly good Carvonic with just a hint of an accent that made everything sound slightly mocking. Commander Vrel, this is Captain Valdez. I'm going to make this really simple for you. Surrender your ship, and we'll let your crew evacuate safely. Refuse, and we'll take it anyway, but with significantly more property damage and several more verses of our victory songs. Vrel's mandibles clicked in fury. You have 12 soldiers against 4,000. What makes you think you can win? Well, Commander, Valdez replied, and Vrel could hear the smile in her voice, we've already won. Check your engine core. Pix pulled up the engineering feed and made a sound like a deflating balloon. The humans had placed charges throughout the entire engine section, not to destroy it, but positioned precisely to disable every backup system simultaneously. It was the kind of technical knowledge that should have taken months to acquire. How did you? Vrel started. You really should encrypt your technical manuals better, Valdez said cheerfully. We've had your ship specifications for weeks. Studied every system, every weakness, every predictable response protocol. See, Commander, you fight like you've already won. We fight like we've already lost. Makes us way more creative. Vrel looked around his war chamber at the officers staring at their screens in disbelief. He thought about High Admiral Thex's impending rage. He thought about the fact that this story would spread through the Dominion like a virus, making them a laughingstock across 700 systems. 699 systems, he corrected himself mentally. What are your terms? He asked quietly. Evacuate your crew to the escape pods. Leave the ship. Return to your territory and tell everyone that human space is now officially off limits. Oh, and one more thing. What? Stop calling us primitives. We prefer dangerously innovative. 20 minutes later, Vrel stood in an escape pod with Pix and 50 other officers, watching through the viewport as his flagship, his beautiful, powerful, state-of-the-art command cruiser, drifted away under human control. He could see them through the windows of the bridge, actually taking pictures of themselves like tourists. Sir, Pix said softly, what do we tell High Admiral Thex? Vrel was quiet for a long moment, watching the ship that had been his home for 15 rotations disappear into the black. Finally, he spoke. We tell him the truth. We tell him that humanity didn't just cross into our space. They turned it into their playground. And we tell him that unless the Dominion wants to become a historical footnote, we need to leave the humans alone. Will he listen? Vrel thought about the 12 humans who'd just stolen a warship worth more than some planets. He thought about Lieutenant Webb shooting at a destroyer with a pistol while falling through space. He thought about Captain Valdez's casual confidence and that infuriating human smile. Probably not, Vrel admitted. But by the time he realizes we were right, the humans will have struck again. And again. And again. Because that's what they do. The escape pod's engines fired, carrying them away from human space and toward the long, awkward conversation that awaited them at home. Behind them, if Vrel had been able to hear through the vacuum of space, he might have caught the distant sound of humans singing something called Don't Stop Believin' while joyriding in a stolen alien warship. The galaxy, Vrel realized, was never going to be the same.
Hello everyone. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, don't forget to support our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. We regularly upload amazing, informative, and entertaining content just for you. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to bring even better content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to our growing community.